So hello everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. So today we're gonna do I think last week I told you I'm gonna show you guys how to make cards, but I also realized that many of you have started your projects. So I'm gonna carry on today. I'm gonna cover a bit of a variety of different topics, okay? Just to show you what you can do even at home, even with minimal equipment, okay? 咁今日我哋做咧，我知上個禮拜我講過話，會做卡，唔使驚，而家仲有幾個禮拜我哋都仲未完，所以我會遲一個禮拜至講俾你聽點樣整卡，OK？但係今個禮拜 I'm very excited，我揾到一樣嘢喺個屋企裏邊，嗱你唔知你哋睇到呢個咧係乜嘢嚟㗎？你知唔知呢個咩嚟㗎？呢個係個月餅嗰個盤啊！啱啱過咗中秋節啦，right？所以有人俾啲月餅我哋，咁我食完月餅我想掟噶啦。咁我睇下呢個盤好靚喎，你睇唔睇呢個盤係有凹凸㗎？
哦，係啊。
right？嗱，咁呢啲咧就係突然之間我就哎呀唔好掉唔好掉，就咁我咧而家就我想俾你哋睇，所以我冇剪到，因為我驚剪咗之後你唔知道我講咩。咁呢個係一個香港美心月餅咁 OK，佢呢個盤好靚。嗱，你睇到個底咧，你睇唔睇突出嚟啊？咁我而家咧就係、我就諗住咧剪咗佢 ，OK，you have to cut it because you need it to be on a plain level，OK，it's easier。咁我就揾張呢張係 parchment paper 嚟嘅 ，OK。So actually you can use any paper will work，but make sure the paper is quite thin，即係薄啲嘅。So if you use white tissue paper like the type that you use for wrapping gifts，嗰啲你包送禮物嗰啲咧，白色就最容易嘅，因為白色顯色落去。咁你壓上去咧，你揾支顏色筆 ，OK。So I'm using something dark to show you 嗱，呢一個好靚嘅呢個真係。你睇唔睇到佢嗰啲花？佢係一個好似個 ，is like the flowers, different flowers, right？咁其實等我剪咗出嚟咧，你呢邊都用得，你是但一邊你都用得嘅。咁你做乜嘢啊？咁 OK，咁我咧就擺喺度。你記得細蚊仔，我哋細個翻學嘅時候，有陣時師兄教我哋塗嘢咧，你揾支顏色筆，你咁輕輕擦佢咧，嗰啲凸嘅地方咧。嗰啲花紋就會出㗎啦，因為佢係有凹凸嘅。OK，嗱呢個 technique 咧 ，if you have the equipment，即係你有工具嘅時候咧，喺個 scrapbooking world it's called embossing，OK，embossing，EMBOSSING， and what it is to be able to take a pattern and because it's raised。It will give you texture on your paper. OK， 嗱，我因為我而家喺個手度做，所以我做得唔係好好 ，because 我想 show 俾你哋睇。但係如果你將呢個嘢，你有啲咁嘅板你切出嚟，你擺喺度咧嚇，咁你捽咧，佢就會捽得好靚啊！我睇下我捽唔捽到呢一朵花俾你睇 ，OK？
Elizabeth, can you hear us? No, Elizabeth is back. I just want to see if she can hear us. I don't think she can hear us yet.
I see. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you. So we know we are limited because we are on the camera. If you are in person, I can show it. You will see it so much quicker. So you have to go through this a little bit more. That means 擦幾次 okay? Rub it more. 唔係一次過就出嚟。You rub it harder so that you get the paint or you get the color on, and you will raise the pattern of this template. OK， 係一朵花嚟嘅。嗱，我俾你睇嗰個花嘅原本咧係咁樣嘅。OK。咁如果你壓上去捽佢咧，你會捽翻個樣出嚟，但係你嗰個花就上咗嗰個度。點解我講呢樣嘢俾你聽咧？因為 in the world of scrapbooking 咧，佢有好多叫 texture paper。你睇呢張紙。Am I echoing? Okay. you see this paper? This is texture. It's all raised. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. 呢啲全部凸起嘅。Okay. And this is what I'm trying to create by myself using like tissue paper. And so whatever pattern that you have, you can raise it. Okay. But of course, it means that you have to go looking for these kind of things. So I'm just telling you, this is a really, it's a chancy thing because you might not all have this kind of thing, okay? 你未必一定揾到啲咁嘅，但係即係話你睇到見到嘅時候咧，你就唔好掉佢住 ，okay? So this is one thing, and then they talk about texture, okay? 即係啲紙咧係有凹凸嘅 ，okay? You can feel it, okay? And the reason, okay, today's class is going to be a little bit of a mix because I also have other thoughts as I was going through doing my own project. And I understand there's 2 people who are new from last week. So I'm gonna do a little bit more of framing and placement, okay? I hope I won't take too much time. I'll take like 15 minutes to talk about framing, and I will add in more about framing than what I've already shown you before, okay? So for the sake of those who have not been here before, I hope you have picked up a package, okay? 我希望你已經攞咗一袋嘢 ，okay？ 喺嗰袋嘢裏邊有好多呢啲咁嘅 size 嘅4×6嘅 card 嘅 ，OK？ 咁咧，我就會用幅相嚟做個
Elaine?
Yeah?
So Elizabeth is participating by phone, on the phone. So you probably need to speak English.
Oh, okay. Is it okay? All English? Okay. Okay, no problem. If anybody doesn't understand, just indicate. I will repeat it, okay? So I'm going to use this picture. Now, one of the things that I talked about earlier before is how do you pick the color of your mat? This is called a mat, which is your framing. You see this lady? She's wearing this color, a light lilac. And so I went and I picked out this color for the frame. Okay, and I also prepared this sheet, which is a very colorful and actually a very pretty sheet. And I'm going to do a double frame for her. Okay, this lady just turned 70. So this is the photo, the birthday album that her daughter asked me to do for her. So now in the past, I say using pencil, using paper. So what we did is we do something like this. I just tell you guys to cut triangles, okay? So here I go to cutting triangles. So you can just take a triangle and you cut it. Now this is one type of framing only, okay? And you frame with triangles, okay? So this is the most basic framing, is to put a triangle on one side, okay, like that, okay? And assuming you frame it all the same, so you have 4 triangles, okay? But not necessarily, okay? This is one way, okay? Another way is, instead of doing just like a very tight triangle, I've shown you guys to do a slant, okay? So a slant is basically one side is longer than the other. So I just take a pencil, I put the paper down. Okay, let me remove everything. So I just put the paper down, and this is in a case when you don't have enough paper, okay? When your mat is too small, okay? And so you take a side that is longer and a side that is shorter. So you have basically an uneven, not a unilateral triangle, but an uneven triangle, okay? So you see, one side is longer, this side is shorter, okay? And then you take that away, and you take your pencil, you take your ruler, and you connect that, and that's your, and you can make 4 of these if you like 4, or if you like 2, it doesn't really matter, okay? I will never tell you that you must do something one way or the other. And I've taught that when you cut long lines, okay? Open up the blade wide and do as minimal moving cut as possible so that you're straight through. Otherwise, it's easy to be crooked, okay? There, now it's straight. And then this, you can do it like that. Okay, or you can do it this way, okay? So it's really, the variety is your choice. As long as you frame it, don't get too hung up on it being exactly the same on every side, because that's what art is beautiful. They are not exactly even symmetrical, okay? You can be a little bit slightly off and it still looks really nice. But you say, oh, this is very boring. I want something more. So this is where you start building your frame, okay? Again, I stick to her color in the middle. So I'm gonna move this up and I move it to a frame like this. Now you can see that my frame is not big enough because I have a leftover here. So these are the instances that you start doing offside frame, okay? You start doing something like this. Do it off, move it out, and you figure, okay, and you go like this. Now you have too much paper. Too much paper is never a problem. Too much paper, just cut it out, okay? So I can adhere like that, and when I cut it down, okay, then you have a frame that is actually big enough. And then I would do another purple here. But this is my point of telling you, is pull the color out of her shirt. But you don't have to, because look at, she's wearing a different shirt now. So this one, I'm gonna use this frame because it matched her sweater, okay? So this is what called framing, okay? This is very, very simple, it's just framing. And you can have double frame. For this project, I actually want to give her a double frame by doing this kind of thing. Hang on, let me get my paper first. I want to do it like this. And I want to do it like that, okay? So because this is really something I have to do, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it like that, okay? Now, when you have so many frames, watch out, don't make it too big. Like if you have a frame like that, that actually doesn't look very good, okay? So make them tight, make them 1/8 of an inch, okay? So just a little bit show through, or you can flip it and put the color paper underneath. And because it got flowers, it's pretty. So I want to show more of the flowers. So it's a 1/8 of an inch outside and then 1/4 inch inside. So you have something like this, which is actually very nice. And of course, I haven't even put it on top of a big sheet of paper, okay? So I have to yet go put it on a big sheet of paper. So let me pull a piece of paper here. Okay, for lack of, I didn't have all the paper up with my computer, but so when you do that and you put it on top here, there. Okay, so you can have multiple layers of framing. Okay, now I have to finish it off because this is not exactly what I want. Okay, that's one way of framing. Another way of framing is, I know I gave you guys sheets, big sheets of softer black paper. Now you can frame the whole page. Okay, like in some projects, it depends on what you have. I like to do a whole page frame like that. And if I put her picture in the middle, it would really, like, she would become the subject of the page. Okay, hang on, let me get one more. Okay, now this hole is open up quite big, okay? And you can easily open up a hole by basically cutting it through, okay? I introduced last week with a cutter. This is cut with a cutter because with the cutter, you have the ability to put your paper underneath and cut away. So this is, so you can slide the paper underneath, and this is go by measuring. You can cut something in the middle, okay, quite perfectly, actually, very perfectly, okay. So this is why I keep saying get a cutter. Okay.
Can you show us how to cut that now?
Oh, sure, I can do that. Okay, so I can cut a small, let me cut a small hole in it because, so what happened? Okay, this is it. Okay, when I finish cutting, I'll tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna put this picture in the middle. So this picture is only a 4x6. So I know my hole needs to be smaller than 4x6 because this one is big, okay? Or actually, you know what you can do? You can frame it first and then put it over because you, okay, there's many ways. Let me show you. I will show you how to cut. You can have a picture that is smaller. In this case, if I cut off those two sides, you see that there's two white slides here. I'm gonna just cut it off, okay?
Elena.
Yeah.
Elizabeth 走咗。
Oh. 所以我三媽講嘅話，就沒事。Okay. As long as people understand me, I don't mind what I speak. Okay. Now look at. I always talk about framing. This is a bigger hole than this, but look at the effect is actually quite nice if I trim it and make it a double mat. 你明我講咩啊？
Yeah.
我而家再切嗱，呢度咧上下係。Actually, 我可以即刻切俾你 because I think I can trim this picture. OK 嗱，呢個 trimmer 就好即係好點講，好方便啊！因為你剪紙咧 using scissors 咧係好 limited 嘅。OK， 等我諗下先啊。OK， 嗱小心啊嚇，因為我而家我講緊嘢咧，我會錯嘅。OK， 因為我哋做呢樣嘅時候咧好專心嘅。OK，the thing is, it's like there's a lot of measuring for me. So now, so if you put it right in the middle. You see, you have your own frame again. You see that? Yeah. It's really nice, right?
That's nice, yeah.
即係你嗰個觀感係好唔同嘅。咁我 decorate 咧，我呢個黐低咗佢嘅時候咧，我喺呢度就佈置㗎啦。OK， 我會佈置喺呢度，變咗呢個好似一幅相係 ，yeah，it is 一幅相。OK。What I like more 咧就係 OK， 因為兩邊咁 OK 都得啦 ，it's OK。OK，yeah。嗱 ，OK， 我 show 俾你睇點樣切個窿。OK，what I was gonna say is this： 如果你切個窿咧 ，if you cut that hole is too big, you end up with something like that. You have no choice. But if you have a little hole in the middle, it's fine. 嗰張紙用得㗎，你咪揾啲嘢冚住佢咯 ，right？ 所以無妨㗎。OK。Another thing is 咧，我呢張相咧，好似頭先我講咧，譬如我傷咗佢咧，OK， 呢邊我即刻傷佢哋。我傷喺佢等你哋 show 俾你睇。Okay, I'm gonna frame this. What happened to my purple paper? 好撈教嘅你做嘅時候，你而家你睇到我啲撈教嘢。Okay, I'm gonna do it right away. 咁我有 cutter 咧，我就會多數我哋 cut 相啊。OK， 嗱，我個 desk space 我會 cut。睇呢幅相，你望一幅相，我邊度可以 cut 咧？你唔好 cut 到咧。OK， 我會 cut 1/8。OK，the reason is 如果我 cut 晒下邊全部1/4咧，呢個人咧就頂天立地啦，冇咁好睇。OK，so I'll cut an eighth and an eighth off. It's easier. OK，it's just easier. 嗱呢個嘢咧有晒。你會睇到佢完全有晒尺寸喺度嘅 ，is very good to use， OK？ 咁你就連間尺都唔使啦，因為佢幫咗你啊。OK， 咁咧就呢個 frame 好睇啦，整到 OK，good。OK 啦，你哋嗰張膠，你哋嗰啲膠。Oh, I'll tell you one more thing. Yesterday, 我去 Walmart， 我去 Northland Mall 嗰個 Walmart 嗰度有好多紙，有好多膠，就係我講俾你聽呢啲膠，一個9.99一卷，但係咧我知道我2年前年啊，我已經同人傾過喺呢種膠嘅，佢哋有一包 OK， 係叫做 Forever in Time 嗰個牌子，佢嗰個牌嗰個即係嗰個 labeling 咧 is a light purple like this color OK it's called Forever in Time。佢話佢哋唔再賣 scrapbook 嘅嘢，我唔知點解 OK。But anyways， 咁佢而家剩咗嗰啲咧，佢試過一趟咧即係1年之前嘅事啦，就有what I call 喊爛 they try to sell off everything OK and so I was quite surprised that now they still have something left. I think it's because they either didn't sell it or they just want to get rid of it。所以如果你哋去呢，快啲去喺 Northland 嗰個Northland 嗰個Walmart OK。And I said to you, I want this one for her frame。因為呢張紙真係好靚。如果有時你想 show off 啲紙咧 ，you can do something like this。And then 唔好剪晒佢，即係露多啲紙啊。OK。嗱，其實好多種整法。如果有陣時你想慳紙咧，我越講越多嘢。OK， 我 show 俾你睇我點慳紙。OK， 譬如話我好中呢張紙，我要翻一忽。但因為佢係冚住咗下邊都冇用噶嘛，咁我開窿啊 ，OK？ 嗱 ，this is it will accomplish the same purpose。你想我 show 俾你睇點開窿？我開一個2×3寸嘅窿俾你睇 ，OK？Just let me try to minimize my loss。OK， 呢幅相係4，oh yeah， 4×6 OK。I'll give it 4×6， so 4寸。呢度側邊呢度 show 到6寸，我睇到，你哋睇唔到嘅。佢6寸，所以佢呢個嘢咧，嗱呢一個橫額呢一塊嘢咧，你可以 line it up with 6寸 ，OK？ 咁就6寸㗎，由頂到底就6寸啦 ，OK？ 嗱，你就算睇唔到你，我希望你明我講咩 ，OK？Am I showing you right？ Oh sorry， 呢度係你哋嘅頂 ，OK？ 個頂由呢度落嚟6寸，我呢度睇到6寸，我就 line it up with this lever，OK？I push it down，and 呢一邊咧4寸，呢度就去到4寸啦。see 呢個位係4寸 ，OK？ 4寸係 from 嗰個 cutting 嗰度，個 cutting block， 所以4×6落嚟呢度4，反轉佢呢度係4寸，呢邊6寸，你睇到嗱，啱啱好當定6寸，呢度6寸 ，OK？And then 呢個嘢咧，你去到呢度咧，又係6寸就停啦 ，OK？ 嗱，你睇嗱呢張紙咧，唔需要剪爛啦 ，OK？ 咁譬如你當有一張紙就話，我想要開窿 ，OK？ 我想要翻咗紙裏邊 ，OK？ 咁我而家呢幅相咧，我已經做錯咗，我應該揾張大紙俾佢。我而家剪錯咗 ，OK， 我用呢張。OK，I'll show you how to 開嘅2×3寸 ，OK。譬如呢張就係4寸，2寸咧就每邊1寸剩，中間2寸 ，right？ 咁我就褪呢張紙褪去呢邊有個位寫住1寸嘅，你睇唔睇到1寸啊？呢度寫住 1，OK？This is 1， and this is the cut line。So I push it over to 1, and I want to go down 1 inch, okay? So that it'd be like 1 inch in and 1 inch in, and 1 inch to 5 inches. That's right in the middle because there's 6 inches, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? It's in the middle, it's 2 inches long, okay? So, and you stop it at 5. There's 5 here. I stop it at 5. I want this one to go another 2 inches. Okay. Then I just flip it. So this is already opened. And you want this to be 2 inches. So line this up at the 2 inches is already cut. Okay. Now you will see it much better if you see it on the cutter. And basically just think through it. Okay. Again, it's 1 inch here because it was 1 inch in. That time also the same 1 inch in, and the same. Go 5 to 1. Okay. Once you cut it, you can see it with your eyes already. Okay. These are open. Okay. So you just line it up and put the cutter on the cutting grout. And let me just make sure because I want to make sure this is 1 inch. Yeah, it's 1 inch. So this is also 1 inch in. So put the paper over here 1 inch because your cutting grout is in the middle here. And it's 1 inch down. So now is between 1 and 3 you cut. So push it down and go right to the 3 inches right here. This 2 inch spanning, okay? And do the same over here. Put it over to 1 inch. And there, now you pop it out. You can save a piece of paper, okay? Now, you would think that this is a meaningless exercise, but in fact, when you start working with real things, I always do that so that I can have more paper, okay? I know it would sound crazy to you guys, but, and then if I do it something like this, see, it doesn't matter how you do it now. Your picture would cover the whole. That's my point, okay? So you don't need to have a full piece of paper. It will cover the whole, okay? And then you can go on and finish it off. So this one here, I will probably still go back to it, but I probably won't use the same color paper. I probably will use something more of a purple and pink, okay? I would pick up colors from the purple. I would pick up colors from the flower, okay? Or maybe you can do it on white. White would be quite nice, okay? But you can do it on white. Right now, it doesn't show up, but if you put a darker color against it, then it will pop. So I think I spent one lesson very quickly on colors. Colors is basically if you want the picture to show up, always first pour the same color in different shades and then mount it on a very strong surface. Like, so white against this is strong, okay? If it's this, then it's not strong. So it's really your preference, okay? I'm not telling you which one is better or which one is worse, okay? It's really your preference, okay? So this is something new that I will show you about framing. You can frame your whole picture like that, okay? Although I'm not gonna do it now because I realize this is the wrong color, okay? I want it on a cream color page because I still want to use this, okay? But anyways, you get the point, okay? Look at even this one, it fits. You see how tight it is? Can you see how tight it is? When it's tight, it looks very professional. 嗰啲人哋嗰啲影相鋪影出嚟以前嗰啲相咧，嗰啲 matting 都係咁。It's only an eighth of an inch on each side，但啲嘢好靚 ，OK？ 所以你雙相嘅時候係除得你。And then after this 咧，我試過咗喺呢度，我再整一個 frame on the outside。And of course you use a much bigger piece of paper， 或者會用啲咁樣嘅紙擺喺外邊。咁因為佢有個花好靚，咁嗰張相就好特別，好靚嘅。OK， 咁呢度係一幅相一個 page，but these are the what I call the signature page. It's up to you. Okay. Okay, so this is about framing. Last week, Lily showed us some really nice layout she did. Okay, Lily 做啲好靚嘅 layout。我想 Lily 俾我哋睇一睇，俾我哋30秒望一望 Bobby 做我想睇佢打桌球嗰個 page。OK， 嗱 ，the reason I pick her out 咧就係 Lily 有 probably 冇乜太多嘅道具。OK，which is understandable. And at this point, you guys are all kind of on the same level. 咁因為佢打桌球，你應該我上個禮拜同你講，你哋可以整圓圈 ，right？ 你哋識得 cut 圓圈，你哋會揾個杯啊，揾個豉油碟啊咁，要 cut 圓圈。咁佢打桌球，你點樣嚟 decorate 佢咧？好簡單，揾啲唔同顏色嘅紙 ，using different color paper. And because it's billets, you know those balls comes in a different color. Pick the same colors using a black pen. Write on that circle 1, 2, 3, whatever. Now, what Lily can do is I can scatter a few balls on that page with the numbers, so people get it. Oh yeah, he's playing billiard. Or 你直情整一個 triangle， 自己剪一個 triangle，and 你擺係咪10個球啊？擺喺度，1、2、3整，咁你整一個細細嘅一個變咗 what it is you create your own decorations, okay? Because in the world of scrapbooking, there are 1,000,001 3D stickers. I have actually seen billets with like the cue stick, with everything, like with the whole pool table in 3D, okay? But sometimes you can't find them, and actually they're quite expensive. A sheet of stickers like that costs you like $8. So if you can think of some ways you can create the subject that is relevant to you, your kind of embellishment or your kind of decoration is even better. It's so much fun to do that. So Lily had that. I also remember somebody showed me pictures. I don't know if it's Sue. You bought some pictures, paper with water in it, like the water. Yeah. So if you have a beach scene, if you have a swimming pool scene, okay, those are the kind of things that you go by. Yeah. Oh, that looks like a beach, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like, yeah. So the point is that there's so much paper out there, okay? But at the end of the day, ladies, at the end of the day, this solid paper is your bread and butter, okay? This is the main thing. So when you buy those different type of paper, my advice is don't buy too many, okay? I've seen people buy a whole pad of paper of water. Like there's like 60 sheets of water. And after about 5 sheets, I can guarantee you get sick of it. And you go, what am I going to do with all the water paper? So those, buy them 1 sheet at a time as you need them. Okay, and that's where I get very crazy. 我好孤寒啊，因為我得1、2張，我又唔想買，因為一張嗰啲紙差唔多9毫9一張，咁我好孤寒，我唔想買10零張啦 ，right？ 咁所以一張我就用到盡啦。咁嘅時候咧，我好多時咧，我就喺度中間嗰啲全部開晒窿啦。但係我就擺一張黑紙或者白紙或者 whatever 嗰啲薄啲譬如嗰啲冇花紋嘅白紙上去冚咗佢，咁你就乜都睇唔到啦。Okay, and you can still use it. So as long as you keep the whole size of that paper is still intact for you. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Now I want to show you something else again. So I've been telling you guys go cut. So here you're with your scissors, and scissors are very hard. I understand that, because for one thing, you can't cut it straight, and there's only so much you can do cutting. I'm sure you've seen some of these scissors. Can you see this pattern here? So 呢啲係 Fisker 嘅，呢個牌子係 Fisker 嘅，係咪 Fisker？Has to be Fisker， 佢個牌子唔見咗。嗱呢啲佢哋有陣時買成桶咧，有12個 different design, okay? But let me share with you my experience. Don't bother buying the bucket, okay? Because 個 bucket 有好多係啲咁嘅 ，OK？ 佢會剪出嚟咧，佢剪啲咁樣嘅型 ，OK？ 嗱呢啲咁嘅型咧，你自己空手你都識得剪嘅。哦 ，sorry 睇唔到 ，OK？ let me use it。佢嗰個佢有啲鉸剪係剪出嚟咁嘅型嘅 ，OK？ 咁樣你都識整啦，你使乜要把鉸剪啫？佢有啲咧就有少少唔同，佢會咁樣。咁如果你小心咧。剪咧，你都剪到啲咁嘅 ，OK？ 佢有一啲咧就係咁樣，咁你咪呢啲咁嘅你自己剪啊 ，OK？ 唔好俾錢去買埋晒啲鉸剪。但係嗱呢一個咧好好嘅，呢一個係我 show 俾你，我剪出嚟 ，OK？ 睇唔睇到 ？OK？ 佢就係呢一個。剪出嚟嗱呢啲咧做邊咧就好靚噶啦 ，OK？ You can do that as part of your trim. Like what you can do is you can cut it along like that, and it becomes part of your frame, and the frame has that pattern. Okay? So this is a little bit tricky if you want to cut it on your own, but you have a scissors like that. That's great. Okay? Now watch this one. This one is even more intricate. 睇啦，你哋睇唔睇到㗎？因為我隻眼睇唔睇到你哋？
睇到。
所以嗱，咁如果呢一啲咁嘅鉸剪咧，如果你哋想買咧 ，OK，go ahead，OK，go ahead，因為一把咧，我應該係大約2蚊到嘅啫。And then， 如果邊個想要呢2把鉸剪咧，同阿 May 講 ，OK，I'm giving these 2 away，OK，I'm giving this to you guys。但係我得2把啫，所以我只可以俾2個人，所以我唔會偏心 ，OK？ 邊個講俾阿 May 聽咧就 you get it，OK？OK。Now， 有一樣嘢我上一次我從來唔講俾你聽啊 ，I don't know why。你啲 frame 咧 ，do you notice that it's always right angle triangle？ 咁應該揾把鉸剪，剪圓角，圓角好睇嘅喎，剪圓角，好簡單啊！我而家剪咗圓角 ，OK。咁你雙出嚟嘅時候咧，你可以用把鉸剪，你可以剪圓角 ，OK。就 basically 係圓角嘅啫 ，OK。That's all it is，OK。嗱呢一個圓角咧剪得好好嘅，點解咧？嗱，你睇呢啲全部圓角嚟嘅，係咪啊？睇呢啲圓角。There's such a thing called a corner punch，OK？A corner punch 就 perfect 啦。OK， 嗱，如果譬如我要整圓角咧，好快啦。嗱呢一啲咧就係叫做 basic 嘅道具啦。OK， 所以你哋嘥幾蚊雞買呢啲咧係好好用嘅。OK，because 你一個人用。我呢個角差唔多5、6年啦，佢一樣咁 sharp，OK？Because that's all I do， it's just cut 圓角 ，OK？ 咁譬如你 cut 埋張相 ，OK？ 雙出嚟嗰個又唔同啦。OK？So 你哋漸漸咧可以去睇下，如果你要 rounder 嘅咧 ，OK？ 你可以同我講呢啲叫 rounder，is corner rounder， 有好多樣啊！我帶咗幾個嚟俾你睇下，我俾你試。嗱，可以係咁嘅樣嘅喎 ，OK？ 佢呢度咁樣整啊，你 show 俾你睇，呢個係圓角，咁我剪出嚟點咧？呢個插入去，嗱，又係圓角 ，OK？So 所以你唔好介意咁嘅就得，咁樣呢一個咧係 creative memory 嗰啲係特別貴嘅。所以如果你揾到呢一個咧，就係會平啲 ，and I think it's just as good。我仲有幾個圓角咁啊，啲嘢多得滯，我俾人哋拎晒嚟。OK。For example， 咁佢有嗰個圓角係咁啊。你可以咧，呢一個角咧又唔同啲嘅，呢個角剪出嚟咧係咁樣嘅，睇唔睇到？你睇唔睇到？係圓嘅，係一個好似一個。Is it too hard to see? Now you can see it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Or this one here is even better. This one 咧，睇唔睇呢個角？呢個我最中意呢個。呢個如果你鑲中國嘅畫咧，你就一定要用呢個角。我唔知點解，但係有幾幅嘢我一鑲起上嚟咧，你嗰個感覺就係 it's very oriental and that's it, you done. OK， 所以嗱呢啲就叫做 corners， 呢啲就係叫做 corner cutter。OK， they're all corner cutter. So if you see them on the market, go buy one. OK， it will just give you that much more variety. OK, so these are the few things I introduced this week. OK, so remember these two I'm giving away. Can't give away these because I can't find them anymore. I'll show you one more corner. 呢一個嗱，呢啲所以呢啲你如果你喺 dollar store 見到咧去買 ，OK，dollar store probably 係最平，你唔需要再揾嘅。 但係有陣時好多時以前多數有嘅，但係而家佢哋冇咗。呢個嘢係咁樣嘅喎，你喺佢嘅後邊咧嚇，咁你淨係 for 上啲全部叫 corner，咁你打住你。你睇下，佢咧變咗係咁嘅噃，睇唔睇到？
Yeah.
Okay, so now I've shown you quite a few things, and the objective is to encourage you to buy some things to help yourself, because at the end of the day, your scrapbooking can only go so far unless you have a bit of a tool. Okay, you cannot work with no tool. And paper and scissors you can get very innovative for sure. Okay, and another thing is like I said, your picture should give you an inspiration of what you want to make for your decoration. So the case in point is with Lily's picture. When you have that kind of picture, you can say, oh, I can make, I can cut triangle, I can cut circles, then I can make that little billet set in whatever, or just drop 3 or 4 balls. You don't need to drop all 12 on the page, and it just enhance that picture. Okay. So always take your picture and use it as your springboard for your sake of decoration. So for example, if I want to use this picture, when I look at this picture, what's going on? I probably would find a picture with roses, and I can scatter a few big roses on the corner, and that would be, it would be nice enough for her picture. Okay. So any questions so far? I'll show you one last thing. I don't know if you, sorry.
That means 我哋咧行街嘅時間，得閒去逛下睇下有啲乜嘢減價，咁就買定呢啲咁嘅玩具啦。
係啊。
You're right, you totally get it. 同埋咧又做垃圾婆啦 ，OK？ 人哋要掉嘅，等唔好掉，等我睇下先。你睇完之後咪掉咯。但呢一個嘢咧，其實有啲難度。點解？因為我要剪嘅時候，我發覺我呢把鉸剪剪啊，我要揾 X-Acto knife 嚟起咗佢。因為咧，你咁樣壓住嚟整咧係冇咁靚嘅，因為佢下面空心啊，所以我要整到佢係 flat 咗之後。但呢個真係好靚，呢個好靚。And 我要下一堂我要講俾你聽，開始用 ink pad，OK， 即係 yeah，I told you I don't know what ink pad is in Chinese, but you know what ink pads is. They come in all different colors. And I will show you how to use ink pad and smudge it in this design. And it will come out. Oh, you know what? Give me one sec. Let me go get an ink pad and I'll show you. Okay, hold on.
我哋而家行街咧，要多樣嘢睇啦，得閒睇下呢啲咁樣有冇減價，買唔買得過啊？就要買噶啦。
OK， 嗱，你哋食完餅啊？我初開始時候玩呢樣嘢咧，我就去嗰啲有初嗰幾年啊，有1、2年我就儲月餅盒。老實講，中國人月餅盒唔係最靚嘅。我最唔中意嗰啲咩嫦娥仙女嗰啲，我覺得好俗嘅。但初冇啦，咪咁啊算啦。咁整下咧，我就開始去揾啦。食完餅咧，見到人哋掉嘅，唔好掉。我而家有成6個呢啲盒，咁啊成套呢套好好嘅，你睇裏面擠幾多嘢 ？OK， 所以你要開始揾啲盒嚟裝住你啲嘢，因為你會好多嘢。如果你冇嘢裝咧，你就好頭痛嘅 ，OK？ 嗱呢啲 ink pad 咧， That's what ink pads are, okay? And if you guys are really interested, 我可以幫你哋揾 ，OK？ 因為我呢啲係好多唔同地方嚟買，有一啲咧係好多時係網上人哋用過嗰啲 ，and it's okay，OK？ 呢啲因為你係 for craft， 你唔係食落肚嘅，所以佢係即係如果佢係保養得企理嘅咧，你唔好介意買 second hand，OK？Because otherwise the craft would become quite expensive，and I always try to save money even with the craft. So here, let me show you with an ink spot. Hopefully this would turn out good. I'm going to use this color just to make sure it shows up. Okay. This is just a piece of parchment paper, so I wouldn't recommend using parchment paper in my scrapbook, but I'll use tissue paper, like the white tissue. No, it doesn't. Work.
可唔可以用 bingo 嗰啲 pen 啊
Pardon?
？bingo，you know people are playing
Bingo 嗰啲
bingo。
pen 啊，我
Yeah.
未試過喎。你可以試下，你可以試下。當然 ，actually try anything。OK，
Okay.
I mean 呢啲已經係廢物嚟㗎啦，唔 work 咪掟佢咯。
Yeah.
我覺得呢個唔好，個 ink pad 唔好，點解咧？我覺得我仲有張，我覺得用木鉛筆最好，因為嗰個 ink pad 佢，我嗰張 ，OK， 我覺得用木鉛筆最好。
我想問下，
啊？
呢個紙叫咩紙啊？牛油紙啊？
No， 呢一張紙係
A4 紙啊？
因為我嚟焗嘢嗰啲啊，唔好用嗰啲。
哦，牛油紙嚟㗎。
OK， 因為叫牛油紙啊。OK 啦。
牛油紙得，我就睇落去似，而家知道咯，留翻啲。
嗱，睇唔睇到呢個嘢出啊？
Yeah.
但我就睇到，因為我喺呢邊，我唔知你等我 show 你。
睇到啊，
睇到啊，好靚啊！
睇到啊。
一朵花啊，係。
佢就係嗱，你起花啦，嗱，係啦。咁你個 template， 我叫呢個做 template， 你唔會用好耐啫，因為你用得多你自己悶㗎嘛 ，OK？ 咁唔要嘅咪掟佢咯。咁所以呢啲廢物咧，其實好在咁啦，又唔嘥你錢，唔 work 咪掟佢咯。但係如果你因為呢啲嘢咧係有得賣嘅 ，the point is， okay? There is such thing on the market, and you pay a lot of money for them. So if you feel like it, go ahead. It's okay, of course. You know, it's your hobby. Enjoy it. Go spend some money. But in another instance, when you can find it and it's for free, why not? 睇得出啦。
啊，睇到好靚。
咁嗱，你而家整好之後咧，咁嗱，你梗係唔係呢張啫嚇？你咪剪好佢咯。OK， 你剪咗四四方方或者我咧整個長方形咁，咁你咪擺喺你嗰張紙嘅側邊啊。I mean sorry 嘅相嘅側邊啊。嗱，譬如話我呢個真係用得着嘅 ，OK。Of course I have to cut it out, OK。And sometimes all it is, this is all it takes. It just looks really beautiful, OK。Actually, I might just keep this because after I cut it, nobody would even know it's parchment paper, isn't it? Another way is that 就係開始 layer your color 啦 ，OK？ What it is like， OK， 我呢張我唔想 ruin 佢，因為我整得少。譬如話 ，what I mean by layering your color 咧就係 ，so when you work with something like this。Make sure 你黐住佢 ，OK？ 你揾個膠紙黐住佢，因為我而家我冇拎膠紙嚟。如果你唔黐咧，你知你一 shift 咗咧，你個 pattern 就 ruin 咗噶啦。所 所以有陣時你要諗一諗，即係你做呢啲嘢係好 ad hoc 嘅 ，because like you really creating your own thing. So you say, okay, what works and what doesn't work. So make sure you tape it down so that the paper don't move on you. Otherwise, once you move, then it's done. You have to redo it. What I mean by layering is using 2 different colors, okay? And you scrub at the same time so that you get a blend. Okay? 嗱，有陣時或者你個第一個 colour 你要再 scrub 過嘅，但係 the thing is 你2個色，你甚至可以整到3個色，咁呢啲要好 strong 嘅 colour 啦，因為如果大家 too light 嘅時候咧 ，it won't work。OK 嗱，呢啲全部用木顏色嘅啫。OK，I'm just using then you can create a picture. And I mean, I can't draw to tell the truth, but this I can do. OK， 你可以開始混啲色啦。Actually， 你係可以試下，如果你哋有細蚊仔嗰啲蠟筆咧，蠟筆都 work 嘅。OK， 蠟筆 might even work better， 但係要好輕，因為你而家太大力嘅時候咧，你就 cancel out 嗰個 embossing effect 啦，因為佢個凹凸好淺嘅啫，呢啲 OK， 但係有啲凹凸咧好深嘅。OK。And next week I will show you emborders. I mean the embossing folders. Okay. Okay, one last thing. You would think that everything is straight and nice and neat in scrapbooking, which is not the case. Okay. There's such a thing as what they want to make scrapbook look like it's a very rustic and what is that word? They want to make scrapbook like real scrap. Okay, that's the point. So there's such a thing called a tearing technique. Okay, and I mean tearing is just tearing. Like I can just tear the paper, right? I just tear the paper now. If I just tear it with my hand, it actually works. Okay, 咁啊 tear 咗，但係佢咧有把咁嘅間尺，咁你要 lay it down， 誒你拉住個 tear 咧，佢 actually 係有 pattern 出嚟，咁樣你呢個就係你個邊啊 ，OK。但係嗰啲紙咧 ，you have to be careful. Don't use the cardstock that I give you. They are too thick. You need to get the thinner paper. The paper that is less than 65 pounds, okay? The paper that I gave you is 65 pounds. So see, okay, so this is the edge, okay? Especially when you do something like, to make things antique looking, you can use this kind of technique. And if you have none of this ruler, you can just do it very slowly with your hand, and you will create this kind of result, okay? But it's very even, and of course, be careful what that you don't tear away something. And look at this ruler has 2 sides too. Okay, so this ruler is another Fisker ruler. Okay, so just to let you know that again, this is something that you can do with hand. Okay, you don't need the ruler exactly, but having the ruler is easier. Okay, so one way is take a piece of cardboard. 嗰啲買你嗰啲 cereal box 嗰啲 cardboard 咧，用把鉸剪剪啲咁樣嘅嘢出嚟。咁 because that becomes your ruler, okay? So you don't have to pay $6 for a ruler, but use that, and then you can take a piece of thinner paper and you will get the exact same effect. Okay, so okay. So today is more about the different things that you can do with scrapbooking. Not exactly like, you have to incorporate all these different techniques into putting your pictures into the scrapbook and just to make it interesting. Like honestly, I'm actually quite impressed with this myself. I'm gonna cut an oval out of it. Okay, I'm gonna cut an oval, and I will show you next week. I will promise I will show you when I finish this picture. Okay, and the page that how it would look like. Okay. So next week we will go and we'll do cards. Okay, remember I asked you guys find a ruler. So next week you will need hopefully a wooden ruler, something that has thickness. Okay, because you will do a lot of scoring. And like for example, this is a score line so that you can fold. So we will do a lot of scoring. It's just basically by putting it down and 用個牛油，我叫你攞個 butter knife, okay? Something that won't kill you. And then 喺度壓落去 without cutting it, okay? And that's scoring, okay? Until you get your cutter, you don't have anywhere to score. So this is the way to score, is to take a thicker ruler and push it down so that you get a score line. We call it a score line. And the score line would enable you to fold properly, okay? So next week, please come with a ruler like this, or well, not exact like this, of course, something with some thickness, and get a butter knife, okay? And yeah, and next week, bring one sheet of paper like that, the 12 by 12, okay? And I'll show you guys how to make cards. So this is actually some of my card templates right there. I mean, I destroyed this, but you know, so I'm gonna show you guys how to make some cards, okay? Do you want a preview of what? Let me give you a preview of what I will show you. Just hang on one second. And besides cards, I want to, at the end of at the end of 7 weeks, you would be able to make this, okay? This is a self-made scrap album, okay? It's all made with scrap paper, okay? So you can put pictures in here, you can put small pictures on here, okay? So this is a scrap album. And this is, and then it closes like that, okay? And this is only a 6 by 6, the 6 inches. But you notice that these paper are 12 inches. So if you don't cut it in half, you can make a huge scrap album that it measure like 6 by 12 inches, and it has inside pockets, okay? So this would be the project that you will leave this class with. And after that, then I think you can just about do anything you like, okay? So this would be coming in the next few weeks, okay? Questions, comments?